Here with Travis Reier, BamaOnLine.com. I'm CineSports Noah Coslov. We've got LSU, Alabama Saturday night. So I'm going to ask you the question that I'm sure you're being asked at the grocery store, at the post office, everywhere you're going these days. Who wins the Fournette versus Alabama's front seven battle?
It's going to be fun to watch. You know, it's a situation with Leonard Fournette where no defense so far this season has held him under 150 yards in a game. I think yards per carry are the thing to watch here. Alabama against Georgia and Nick Chubb did a good job of that, except for one big play. Chubb went 83 yards, so instead of averaging 3.5 yards per carry for the game, he averaged 7.3. So the challenge for Alabama, I think, is to obviously limit those explosive plays that Fournette is so well known for, and they've done a good job of that with that front seven for the most part this season when talking about opposing running games, with Chubb's big play being one of the lone exceptions.
Yeah, they've only allowed 18 rushes this season of 10-plus yards. That's remarkable. If they can do anything to that extent against Fournette, they're in good shape. So if it does come down to quarterbacks, who would you give the edge to?
Right now, I got to go with Jacob Coker, Noah, because I've seen him do it in critical situations. He's been asked to carry this team at times, or at least make big throws in clutch situations, and he's performed. We haven't really seen it from Brandon Harris to this point. Been very effective, hasn't thrown an interception this year, but if Alabama's able to do with that front seven what some people think they will be able to do against Leonard Fournette, much more of the load is going to be placed on Brandon Harris. Not that I think that LSU will give up on the running game at any point in Saturday's game, especially if it's within 7 to 10 points, or certainly if LSU has the lead. But if it does come down to Brandon Harris, he's very much still an unknown guy in this whole thing.
Yeah, and usually under Saban, it's a touchdown or under game. 6 of the 9 games that he's coached in this rivalry have been that situation. And finally, speaking of Saban, what's his spin this week?
You know, I think it's trying to keep it as normal as possible around here. And that's not easy this week because even though he's been at Alabama for 8+ seasons now, the guy was still the head coach at LSU. So there's always that factor of the storylines that has to be considered this week, although it's faded for the most part over the years. And certainly the initial release of the college football playoff rankings coming out, that was a bit of a shock to a lot of people's systems, seeing Alabama there in the number 4 spot. He has downplayed it, as you might expect, and he's right. It just doesn't mean a whole lot right now, and obviously after Saturday night, one of those 4 teams is going to be outside that top 4.
The 80th meeting, Alabama-LSU, Saturday night in Tuscaloosa. Travis Reier, BamaOnLine.com. Great talking to you. Enjoy the game, Travis.
Thanks, Noah.